Welcome to our new series, and thank you for joining the Ever Better Talk Show with your host, Wanda J. Prowell, bringing you issues of the heart for the young and wise. This week's topic, teens, love, and Valentine. Yes, teens, love, and Valentine. For our early adolescents, early teenagers, ages 11 through 14. Yes, teens, early teens, for love and Valentine. Well, while others are coming on, I want to invite you to please subscribe to my Wanda Prowell YouTube channel and visit my website at www.resolved-2010.com. Yes, www.resolved-2010.com. And there you will be able to review all of my services and social media contacts. Go on, invite some friends right now to join us today for our Teens, Love, and Valentine talk show. Well, regardless, my friends, of our day-to-day challenges, please know that love is in the air. Just ask any high school teacher, any coach, any youth leader. Ask them, where is love? They will quickly tell you love is always in the air. Almost all children under the age of 18 are guilty of being angry one minute and back in love the next. Many are overwhelmed by adult matchmaking phrases when they're young children. They'll say things like this, and I'm not sure if you've heard this, but I have. But adults will be kidding around with small kids. They'll go like, you got a girlfriend? Got a boyfriend? Or she's your girlfriend? Or she's your boyfriend? Hey, love is in the air. Whether you remember phrases like that or just your young person watching television and observing real life observation. But I want you to know, my friend, puberty, my friend, is a very, very sensitive stage for every adolescent. Each parent, all parents, must be intentional to know and understand how puberty, yes, puberty affects the physical and the psychological effects for each child. And it's personal because every child is different and they will be affected by puberty differently. Puberty, by definition, my friend, is the time in life when a boy or girl becomes sexually mature. Let me say that again. Puberty, my friend, by definition, is the time of life when a boy or a girl becomes sexually mature. It is a process that usually happens between the ages of 10 and 14-year-old for the girls and ages 12 through 16 for the boys. The first sign of puberty is usually breast development, then hair grows in puberty areas and armpits. Okay, parents, I have your attention now. Parents, I have to share my disclaimer with you as I've done many times before. On this show, I repeat, the teen family, Ever Better Talk Show, is created for adult parents. The information shared on this program is to motivate you as parents to begin discussions with your children. I pray that you are open-minded today to share all of my videos with your spouse or the child of a parent, especially if you're living in separate households, so they too can obtain strategies for fostering open communication. That's our goal for you parents. Open communication. I am giving you the tools that you may use to develop open communication for healthy parent and child relationships. Now, let's move forward with today's lesson for this week's topic: teens, love, and Valentine. For your early adolescent, your early teenagers, ages 11 through 14 years old. Yes, 11 through 14-year-old. We are going to address the early teenagers. We recognize that puberty is the stage when both male and female, by definition, we recognize that this is the stage where puberty is the stage where both male and female are able to conceive a child. Remember, the definition is when the boy and the girl are sexually mature. Well, again, it is also the age when, because of this maturation, is that they are able to conceive a child, yes. But by no means, my friend, is the young female's body mature enough for a healthy delivery. That's something to think about. And that is a very important statement to share with your early teens. Some characteristics, my friend, of puberty in boys and girls are, for the boys, first stage, hormones take place in their brains, the development of specific hormones. And this is not anything that you can see. It is a physiological process that is occurring in their body, preparing them for puberty. So in their brains, and after which then come, again, the pubic hair for the boys, their voice tone, large muscles, acne, armpit hair, facial hairs. I know the guys remember this. I can remember my brothers. They were so eager to show their puberty. They wanted mustache, and some even took my eyebrow pencil, and made a little dark shade over their over their lips, because that particular brother was developing late puberty, and he didn't have facial hair to begin with. So facial hairs is certainly one of the characteristics for that are observed for a young man or boy who's entering into puberty. Okay, well, and also parents, this is the time when the reproductive organs begin to enlarge. Wet dreams, yes, wet dreams. Your young boys need to be aware of this, because it would alarm them, because this is nothing that they do or no information they have heard or discussed with their friends. It will happen. The wet dreams will occur similar to the menstrual period in the young ladies. So it requires that parents are in close communication with their early teens to prepare them and to not be afraid of the physiological and the biological changes that's going to be occurring in their body. Well, for the girls also too are experiencing hormonal development in their bodies, and of course they're not able to identify it in the first stage. Of course, some emotions may begin to escalate, but there's nothing physiological going on in the very first stage. But later on, then again, they also experience acne. Look at the pimples. And if you know anything about hospitals a long time ago, they would call them, yeah, that's what they call it. They call it the nature bumps. Nature bumps. How about that? That's what they call that when they had nature bumps. That means they're about to enter into a different stage of life as teens. Okay, but according to Healthline, this is a website, Healthline, HALTHLINE, Healthline.com. On an average, black girls starts puberty a year before white girls and are ahead when it comes to breast development and having their first period. Now, how about that? I made a point of writing that website down because you'll be able to research that for yourself, or you can speak to any medical professions. There are many, 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 many physical issues and even diseases or health issues that varies according to cultures, because that's just how our bodies are made. But yes, that is a special note that little black girls may enter puberty before the average white girl, and that also the development of breast. So parents, we want to keep that in mind as we are coaching and guiding our young teenagers on how to handle possible or adverse situation as they grow older. Well, allow me to stop and make a very important observation. I understand that moms and dads have conflicting comfort zones for communicating the sex talk with their child. Realize, parents, that it is critical that the same gender parent is actively engaged, available, and bond for interpersonal parent and child discussions. It is an opportunity to bond. If there should be any insecurities, please take this time to review and have prior discussions together so that you will have the confidence to share. Understand the importance of you both in communicating the same message. Very, very important. If there are any insecurities, it would just still be a good idea to, with all the knowledge that you acquire already, just for you and your spouse or the child's father to have a pre-conversation about what it is that you want to share with your child, because it is critical, absolutely critical, that you all are speaking the same language, or so that they will have correct information. We don't want there to be any misconception or any untruth information to be shared, because your child is going to be really dependent on you to give them the tools for their success. So the bottom line, we want them to know the absolute truth about the issues regarding their sexuality as they grow. Life is so short and unpredictable. Make an important life choice, parents, to help your child embrace with both parents. Regardless of your personalities, each parent will be able to establish a unique relationship with your child that cannot be replaced, no matter how well versed the other parent may be. It's important that each parent develop a unique relationship and communication with your child. We are talking about, in case those who have just come on to the talk show, our topic this week, our hot topic for this week, well, not just for this week, our series is teen love, and Valentine. Teens, love, and Valentine. Well, I realize that many parents may not be technologically savvy or have the availability of certain technology equipment. Therefore, I am providing a reference website for your personal reading, but I will also read some direct quotes for your hearing today. So my information, my reference, my resource is coming from healthychildren.org. Healthy, Healthy, children.org. And of course, all of this information is legitimate, it's authentic, because my reference, all of this is coming from the American Academy of Pediatrics. That makes a lot of sense, right? Any information that you share with, oh my goodness, any information that is shared with young people regarding sexuality, that's why it's so important that parents are the leaders in educating your child. You want them to get authentic information. I cannot tell you how much dangerous, bad information that is circulating among themselves. So you want your child to remain healthy. You want them to be able to make good decisions. So it's important that you share with them information from a valid source, a credible source. And what I'm about to share with you right now is information coming from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Again, you may follow up and continue to do self-study at healthychildren.org. Well, my reference is going to be the article that they publish with caring for school-aged children, again from the American Academy of Pediatrics. I am quoting this to let you know that I am not making this up. Again, I'm quoting this to you so that you know that, my goodness, what in the world is Miss Wanda talking about today? No, I'm not making this up. I already know it, but I want you to know that this is validated information. The doctors give it to us straight, right? When you go to the doctor, you ask them, information, and I would say 99.9%, once they tell you something, they're going to give it to you straight. And this is what we are doing today. Okay. Many parents, according to the American Pediatrics, many parents are convinced that if they teach their children about sex, they will be encouraging him or her to become sexually active at an early age. They feel that by talking about sex, they are sanctioning it. But in fact, my friend, the opposite is true. As children enter and pass through adolescence, those who are the best informed about sexuality are the most likely to postpone intercourse. Intercourse, okay? Intercourse versus sex in adolescent language. Sex, parents, and I really encourage you to follow the same model, because I understand that you understand the definition, but we're thinking from the minds of a teen, and especially your early teens, your middle school. Sex is any form of physical intrusion and or manipulation that brings physical pleasure. Hear me again. Sex in middle school and early teenagers' term is any form of physical intrusion or manipulations that brings physical pleasure. Well, now let's go back and identify or define intercourse. Intercourse is intrusion of the male and female reproductive parts where conception can take place. It will amaze parents, my friend, the damaging activities that young teenagers, yes, young teenagers, middle schoolers, can become involved in, thinking it's okay just to fit in because they heard their friends say, you can't get pregnant. Parents, school-based sexuality education that promotes abstinence but also teaches birth control methods has achieved both delays in sexual activity and increased use of contraceptives by those who become sexually active. Let me read that again. Listen carefully. School-based sexuality education that promotes abstinence. They are encouraging the child to refrain against becoming sexually active, but also teaches birth control methods, has achieved delays in sexual activity and increased the use of contraceptive by those teens who are already sexually active. Get this statement. Think with me for a minute. Get this. When children do not get information from their parents, hallelujah, that's a shouting moment right there. When children do not get information from their parents, they turn to friends or other sources from whom they are apt to receive misinformation, ignorance, and the inability to discuss sexuality with their parents may lead them to earlier sexual intercourse and a greater vulnerability to sexually transmitted diseases and unwanted pregnancy. Yes, my friend, today's topic, teens, love, and Valentine. Get this. It is a lack of communication that get youngsters into trouble. That's on your part, parents. It is a lack of communication that gets youngsters into trouble. As mentioned earlier, when you talk about sexuality, do not overlook discussing values. Perhaps your own value system seems old-fashioned by current day standards, which can cause you to feel anxious, old-fashioned, religious, or embarrassed. Even so, do not feel pressured to change. Parents, stand your ground. Do not be pressured or to feel inferior about your own personal values. If you openly, parents, explain your beliefs and the reasons for them to your child, you may give your youngster the strength to resist peer pressure to have sexual intercourse before he or she is ready. Taken from the article, Caring for School-Aged Children from the American Academy of Pediatrics. How about that? They said all that word for word. You can read it for yourself. So if that kind of information is published, and again, the article is Caring for Your School-Age Children from the American Academy of Pediatrics, and that was the November's issue in 2009. So with all that is being said today about the casual lifestyles and people are trying to force certain beliefs on kids and it just kind of make you wonder, if there's any truth out there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. But parents, we have to be diligent in leading and preparing and teaching and communicating with our children. Many times when traditional Christians are asked to define love, they immediately quote the description of love, not the definition of love, but the descriptions of love as listed in the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians 5th chapter, 22 through 23 verses. You can go back there and read it. Galatians, love is, and love is, and love is, Well, your teens may engage in biblical discussions of the terminologies and yet experience conflicting emotions while struggling to apply the information read and discussed to their real life physical challenges. Something is going on. And bear in mind now, parent, I said real life physical challenges, and that term puberty. You understand that your child is not creating this kind of emotion. I understand the media, in different environments they're around can encourage certain motivations. But the bottom line, they are developing into a God-made, God-given physical stage. And they didn't have anything to do to make that happen. That's why it's so important, it's crucial that parents are able to communicate and to share with their child to understand the physical life challenges that they are experiencing. And you need to do it. You don't, and if there's any information you don't feel comfortable with, or bottom line, you just may not know. Because a lot of times it's difficult for parents to communicate with kids, as I was mentioned in one of my previous videos, because perhaps maybe you did not take the classes to understand the we would call them the correct or the respectable terms. So sometimes dads and sometimes moms, they shy away from discussion because they may feel that they are using some names that they don't feel as respectable. But help is there. Your doctor, your nurses, and even other adults are able to help you in this process. But they need to hear it from you. And if the basic terms are the only terms that it's okay. But they need to hear it from you, from their parents. Teens may engage again in these biblical discussions, but they need to understand what's really going on. How does Scripture explain to them? How can they apply that to their own everyday life situation? How to apply the strength? And of course, we're going to be talking about a lot of other how can I say it? The processes, yes, the steps and the processes of maintaining your physical character to reach the goals that you desire. Well, let me remind you to go to healthychildren.org at American Academy of Pediatrics. And you will find these are some additional topics that you'll be able to read for yourself. Common sexual concerns. We're still focusing in now on the early teenagers. We ain't even got to the older teenagers yet. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. But the concerns that boys have about puberty, they want to talk. And many times, only thing they can do is just talk to each other. They just talk to each other because it's like I can't ask, the adult, my mom, dad, that question. They may think, no, 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 no. You have to assure them that there aren't any bad questions, unrespectable questions, that you are open and you have to mean it when you say that, and to establish the bond so that they can talk to you. But boys have questions. The girls have questions. They have questions, and then too, that what really bothers them sometimes too, they may have a friend or even a sibling who may be in puberty right now, and that is a lot of your early teenagers. They look forward to puberty because that means they're in a high ranking level for maturation. So one sibling may become a little discouraged if they have friends and siblings who are entering puberty and they are not. So delayed puberty in boys is a high-ranking discussion, as well as delayed puberty in girls. And like I told you about my brother using my makeup pencil to shade his above his lip to make himself like he was having a mustache. Even there are little girls. Yeah. The little girls who do things to create these fake breasts. There aren't any bad questions. You've got to keep a straight face, have an honest heart, and some loving arms to embrace them and allow them to share their concerns with you. But yes, or even in masturbation. If you go to this website again, it is healthychildren.org from the American Academy of Pediatrics, and you'll be able to read from a medical perspective on information regarding the masturbation, the pelvic exams. Little girls, they need to understand what this is all about. It could be very, very fearful, very, very fearful. And a medical professional, the nurses, they can really help you with this, And again, the wet dreams, all the physical changes that occurs in their bodies during this particular time, they need to be at ease, and they need to get this information from you. And it's private. This is not something that may be addressed in a large group. Of course, as an educator, or according to state guidelines, there may be different topics that we carefully and professionally address according to professional guidelines. But this is not anything to take casually, where people just talk, off their head because they are an adult, and please do not be misled by that, because that can be very tactful, it can be very damaging, and it could be misinformed. Yes. So you want to guard the type of information that is going in your child's ears, and even more so, the validation of the credibility of the person who's sharing it. Okay, well, excuse me, but if I hear some heads turning, some parents may not be comfortable with this Ever Better Talk show today, issues of the heart for the young and wise. But some parents may be turning their heads. Oh, I know she didn't say that. Ooh, did she say wet dreams? But I want you to, you probably think like, how can she talk about topics like these? Well, I want you to know, parents, this is 2021, and we must smell the coffee. We, as adults, cannot afford to go, yes, from the bed, from the back seat of the car, because we know, right? I mean, the child is here, right? So it's not like, we didn't go to Walmart to buy that child. No. Well, it was in the bed. Hey, be for real. Back seat of the car, wherever it was. This is no time to put our head in a sandbox and go like, oh, I know she did. And leaving your own children unprotected. Our children, my friends, teens, are living in a real world, and they need a teen family. They're living in a real world, and they need a teen family to get them through. Their mom and their dad. Well, I'll top it again. Today is Teens, Love, and Valentine. Oh, I want you to know that this is a series, and this series is going to take us right through Valentine's. By that time, we will be with the older teens. But I want you to know that I am so sorry. We are out of time for today, and that's all the time we have for today. I was hoping we would have time to begin our lesson on love. Remember our topic today, teens, love, and Valentine. I was hoping we'd be able to initiate our love lesson today. But to my disappointment, we will begin our love lesson on our next show, which is usually bi-weekly. And that will be on Friday, February the 5th, same time, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. But, if you would like for us to continue a show on next week, Friday, January 29th, same time, I need you to blast your sharing numbers. I want you to share. If you want me to come back on this coming Friday with the love lesson, and believe me, it's juicy. We're still focusing on now our early teens. Blast. Share this with friends, and I want comments. It's okay if you don't agree with me. It's okay if you want to add some more. Because, a long time ago, I've heard older relatives say things like, I don't think they really do that anymore now, but, this thing about, kids will ask you, just like they ask questions about Santa Claus, where a baby come from. And the old folks back then, got a baby from out of a stump. A stump? What? Stump? Yep. Oh, no. These same kids, when parents thought that they weren't old enough to be responsible enough to give them the parent discussion, these same kids became pregnant, and it was back in 1997. Well, between 1985 and 1997, when I was teaching right here, one of the gynecologists shared with me that the earliest child in this area who had given birth was an 11-year-old girl. So that let us know, parents, we've got to be about our business. So right now, please share this video with as many friends as you can. or give me comments, or also too, I want you to go to my YouTube channel, Wanda Prowl YouTube. Go and subscribe. Please subscribe. When you respond to me, that gives me the energy and the motivation to give you more. And if you don't respond, then or I'm conscious of not meeting your needs. Or so I hope that you are in agreement that I am providing legitimate information or pertinent, relevant information that's going to help you and your child be successful. So again, share the numbers, or share with your friends. Give me comments, and or if you do that for me, if you show me that you enjoyed the show or that I gave you pertinent information, and you get those shares numbers coming up and give me comments, well, hey, I'll be right back here next Friday to continue on our love lesson for the same category. But look here, don't forget to visit my website at www.resolved-2010.com for purchases and donation. Yes, go to my website. I've got a lot of information there. It will tell you all about my services, my bio and services, and there you can give a donation if you think it's worth it. If you want to be, if you want to congratulate the service, I don't know, but I want to give you authentic information that's important, and I want you to remember this book. Yes, this book, Family Reunion. It's not about the hot dogs and the hamburgers. This book is the ultimate parent resource book. And I want you to know that I am Wanda J. Prowl, your educator, author, and speaker, bringing you issues of the heart for the young and wise on the Ever Better Talk Show. Well, look here. I look forward to seeing you. Now, will that be next Friday? Will that be February the 5th? Give me all the comments and share. And I hope I can see you on next Friday. God bless. Have a safe week. Stay safe and stay blessed. Love you.